No, I meant in my.
Welcome to It's How You'll Be Remembered. I am Julie Jones, your host and the Chief Encouragement Officer here at Today's Professionals. And with me today is Tobybeth Johnson, one of my dear friends from the Ziegler Corporation. We're both Ziegler coaches, and we have a very important topic to talk about tonight or today, and that is that you may look on the outside like you got it all, but on the inside you're crumbling. And Tobybeth and I are here to tell you you're not broken. You're not broken. There is hope. Tobybeth, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story.
Julie, thank you so much for inviting me on to your show today. It's such an honor to be here and to be in your circle and to be a coach with you. And honestly, just to be loved by you as a friend and equal. It's
Oh
amazing.
gosh, I feeling is mutual. I mean, I just feel like we are just kindred spirits, and that we just were brought together for a reason. You know, when you have someone in your circle that you just connect with, and you live in Florida and I live in Texas, but we get to see each other quite a bit on camera, and we've seen each other here at summits and things like that. But your story is so powerful. And I really believe that right now at the end of the year is a time when we need to really lift each other up and encourage each other. And I want to say, if you are catching us live, be sure and let us know you're here. Say hello. If you have a story or a comment, be sure and put it in. We want to hear from you. And the reason that I say this is the time of year, and I'm coming from a personal experience, and I'm going to be really vulnerable right now. There was a time when my children were little, when I looked like I had it all. I had the beautiful family, I had the great kids, I had, the house, I had everything, the job. I was, a teacher and, department lead, and just all kinds of things were going on. But inside, I was crumbling. And every year around this time, I mean, I would always, I would call what I had these little breakdowns in the shower. I would just get in the shower and I just would bawl. I would just cry until the hot water ran out and I had to get out. I mean, it was just because I felt the weight of everything, my job, the end of the semester, all the things I had to do, plus all the presents and the shipping and the getting it done and the decorating and the cooking. And I just thought I had to do it all. And it broke me every year. I got to where I just didn't enjoy the holidays anymore. Is that similar to what you're seeing with your clients and in your experience too?
You know, I'm sitting over here and I'm like, man, I can't breathe anymore. I just can't. It's a lot. It's a lot. And, us women, and I'm sure there's some men out there too, but I think mostly women, we bear the brunt of everybody else's weight, of
Yeah,
responsibility, of
yeah,
expectations on our shoulders. And we don't realize it until we realize it. And when
yeah,
we realize it, we look at it and it's like, man, everything looks right to everybody on the outside, but somehow on the inside, you just start to feel disconnected, disjointed. There's no alignment. You're just going through the motions.
yeah.
And when you start realizing, like I did, that I don't know, I broke down more than one time in the last 25 years or so. And when I say broke down, I mean stayed in bed, pulled the covers up over my head, and just didn't have any answers. And I kept looking and I couldn't find anything. And then just one day, something, an angel, a light, something came poking out and just kind of tapped me on the shoulder and was like, wait a minute, there is me. There is life inside of me. And I need to find that. And that's when I discovered I buried myself in the noise and I needed to step out into my light. So many of us just feel that darkness wash over us. And, you don't recognize it. And then when you start to recognize it, it's only around the edges. And that's when you know you need to do something about it. Um, Building a community, uh, recognizing that and finding your people within that community, Julie, like I found in you, in our Ziegler community, was such a bright beacon of hope and encouragement that I knew my calling was to bring that hope and encouragement and that light to others.
Yeah, I mean, we always learn from our experiences, right? And I feel like, you know, you and I have had similar paths and
Mm,
similar journeys, and we've had to put on the face. And we had to put on the face that we're okay and go on and, put on that stoic, smile. But inside, the things are not as great as what it looks like. And so, but we power through. And you said something about, we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. And when you said something like, we take it all on, I thought, who told us we had to do that? Like,
right?
I mean, nobody in my life ever said, Julie, this world is yours and you go carry it. No
Yeah,
one.
like here, you carry this for me. I don't know what to do with it. So I think it's our natural inclination,
Mhm.
as strong, independent uh, women, mothers, grandmothers, even if we're not mothers,
Yeah.
we're all daughters, we're
Yeah.
sisters in some form or fashion.
Mhm.
I think it's a generational thing where we've been raised and taught that here, the women carry all of
Right.
this. We're the support
Right.
system. Here's one, we're the glue that keeps the families together.
Mhm.
And that for me, and I know this is true for you too, Julie, we're the glue at home. And then in our professional careers,
Mhm.
we allow that to carry over into our professional careers where
Mhm.
we become the glue in the office. We
Mhm.
become the one that everybody comes to, whether it's inside our job description or outside of it. And then we
Yeah.
feel that obligation to carry that forward. And then that becomes the norm, the expectation of everybody else for us to do what they can't do for themselves.
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, we become the glue of the family, and I remember that. But I had a conversation just yesterday with one of the coworkers, and it was, why do we take on emotionally things that are not ours to take on? If you're at work and you work for a corporation, why is it that you take ownership of things that are not in your control? Why is it that when something comes down from way up above us and then we're having to handle things that are not in our control, why is it that it bothers us? It's not in our control. We can't do anything about it. So don't take it on. Because I believe when we start to take on things that are really not ours to take on, that's when we start to feel the pressure inside because we can't control it. And once we learn to let that go, then we start to go, okay, now I can work on things I can control.
Yeah, I mean, realizing that success without alignment feels empty. And when we recognize that feeling inside of us, it's a wake up call. And it's hard because when it first shows itself as a wake up call, it feels like a failure. When in actuality, it's not a failure at all. uh, it's an opportunity for growth. It's something that just shakes you to your very core. I know I felt that. There was just so much noise. I couldn't hear anything else except my own inner voice screaming to get out, wake up. There's more to me than what everybody else expects. living in somebody else's expectations for over 50 years, I'll tell you what, that takes a huge toll, huge toll. And I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. It really does. And so, we talk about the silent fade, you know, the fade of, you just get into it. When I work with entrepreneurs and business owners, we get into the weeds. We just roll up our sleeves and we start working. And what we don't realize what's happening is that we are fading. We're fading as parents. We're fading as partners. We're fading as leaders. We're fading and we're not shining. And so that's something that I think we need to recognize. How is it that you recognized that you had faded?
That day, and that last day was probably almost 2 years ago now. I just, I, I was tired and I cried out for help. And I took a deep breath, something I don't think I had done up until that point. And I had a good look at what I'd already accomplished in my life. And I slowed everything down. And instead of pushing harder, I slowed down to look at what was around me. It was in that moment that I chose my truth over performance. I reconnected with my faith, my values, and what my inner voice was calling out for. And honestly, that inner voice was calling out for help. And I went and found some help. I got myself a coach who opened that door for me and said, "This is who you are, not buried in the noise." That I was made to step into the light and be the light. And that truth right there, that was everything. Everything.
Wow. Okay. Couple of things there I want to unpack
Sure.
because I've been through this. And first of all, you took a breath.
A big,
I
deep
mean,
breath.
there comes a point in all of us when we start to feel like we are overwhelmed, we're breaking down, where we ask for help. Um, I know I asked for help from someone that I thought would give it to me and they didn't. And that kind of took me down a little bit further. And it wasn't until I realized that I needed to share my feelings with someone who was not in the weeds with me. And I remember being on the phone with a friend and saying, "This is how I'm feeling. This is what's going on in my world. There's something off." And it was my friend who said, "You need help. You are not okay. And you need help." And it was in that moment that I felt safe. For the first time, I felt, okay, I I am in a state of overwhelm. I am in a state of I'm getting ready to break down. I need help. And I also reached out and got professional help at that point because we can't do it all. But why is it that it takes somebody to give us permission to get help? Why is it that it takes, us when we reach out to someone that we think is going to help us and they don't help us? They don't provide that emotional safety for us, but we reach out to someone professionally and they're like, "Yes, you're okay. You're normal. Let's help you get through this time." And you reached out to a coach, and aren't we so glad that we did? Because overwhelm and burnout is temporary. But sometimes we just need somebody to walk along beside us. to get through it.
Agreed. Burnout and overwhelm is such a normal, everyday thing for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Speaking from personal experience, when I decided to reach out for help, my vanity and other people's opinions prevented me from getting the going to see a psychologist or psychiatrist. I knew that wasn't what I really wanted. What I wanted was just like you said, Julie, someone to hear me, see me, understand me, and come along beside me and give
Right.
me permission. That's huge. Give me permission to step
Mhm.
into my light, into who I truly am, what I was called to be, which
Mhm.
wasn't, I was never meant to carry any of it for everybody ever. And I don't believe that anybody's meant to carry it,
Yeah.
you know?
No. As a matter of fact, what one of the things that happens when we start to carry other people's burdens and we take on the problems of all of our family, and then we go to work and we take on those problems, and then we take on the corporate problems, and we're taking on all the everybody's problems. What happens is we start to erode our own boundaries, and we stop taking care of us, and we start thinking that everybody else is more important than us. And then when people do come to us and say things like, hey, are you sure you should be doing that? Or they start to maybe start to say something that lets us know, hey, we might be doing too much, then we blow them off because we're in such a state of pouring from an empty cup, and we're in a state of serving from a place that we don't even really need to be serving from. And we stopped our boundaries, and then the breakdown comes. That's when we really start to see, okay, well, something has to change.
You know,
Um,
I got to stop you right there. There are so many women out there right now that feel this way.
yeah.
They just don't have the language for it. They don't
Yes.
know what it's called.
Yes. Yes.
They look super successful,
Hmm.
and you and I see it all around us. Oh my God,
Hmm.
she looks so successful. Look at the car, look at the house, look at the hair, look at the clothes. And yet, I guarantee you, the majority of those people that we look at and see what they want us to see on the outside, on the inside, they feel disconnected. And
Hmm.
honestly, Julie, I think you and I will see that, recognize that, because you
Hmm.
and I have lived that
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
full bloom.
Yeah. So, yeah, yes. And so I want to provide some hope and encouragement from anybody who's listening to this and going, yes, there is hope and encouragement out there. And first of all, I think step number one is recognizing that you're in a state of burnout, that you are overwhelmed, and that you're not broken, that you're not alone, and that the first thing you need to do is to take a break and breathe. Like you said, breathe. Yes. So that might look like taking a week off of work. It might look like going to a hotel for a weekend and just being with yourself, because taking a time to be by yourself connects you spiritually. I think that was one of the most important things I did is I retreated for a while, like about a year. I I just retreated. I got rid of everything that wasn't serving me. If I had too many appointments on my calendar, what in here can I not serve? I was working with a client just last week on this. She was in a state of overwhelm. She was in tears. And I said, what can you get rid of right now? Right now. And she didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So we were in that point of we want to serve, serve, serve. And it's like, don't worry about hurting other people's feelings.
You know,
Yeah.
stand with me here, Julie.
Yeah.
Together, I want to invite everybody who's listening to this or who will listen to this, here is your invitation. It's your invitation for self reflection, not pressure.
Yeah.
Step back, give this gift to yourself, and take a nice, deep breath. Because if you don't start paying attention to you, you're going to lose you even further. And nobody wants that. You know, you don't need fixing, you need space. You need to take that breath, give that gift to yourself. I mean, it's the holiday season. Go give this gift to yourself. Me, I can go give that gift to myself by go putting my toes in the sand because I'm blessed enough to live in paradise in Southwest Florida. I can step outside and put my toes in the pool. Wherever you are right now, physically, mentally, take that time. Just take one physical step to the left, to the right, behind you, and just breathe. Open
Yep.
the window and breathe
It's where
and
it
notice
starts.
what you're noticing. This
Mhm.
is why I do what I do,
I love
Julie.
that. Notice what you're noticing. I love that. And notice how your body reacts. If somebody says something and you tense up, notice that.
It's
You know,
hard. It's
notice.
hard. When you notice that you've got something that's here, you ever walk around during the day and you're just like, ah, there's nobody else in the room. You're not on the phone, you're not on your uh, desktop, laptop, whatever. And you're just walking from one room to the next, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh, you just feel something.
Yes.
Notice that.
Notice it.
Identify it.
Hmm.
Acknowledge it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think too, the next thing to do is to what can you let go of? Determine what appointments do you not need to keep? What groups do you not need to be a part of anymore? So I found myself going to meetings all day long, in the evenings all day, and I would come home and I'd be exhausted and I needed to work.
Nothing
You
left
know,
to give.
yes. And
What
so,
brings you joy?
yes, what
What
can you
what brings
give?
you joy, Julie? What brings you joy?
Oh, are you asking for real?
I'm for real, for real. What brings you joy?
So Tobybeth putting on our coaching hat here. What brings me joy is being with my family and my little grandbabies. I mean, last night I was on a Zoom call and my little grandbaby walked into my house and I just had to stop what I was doing on the Zoom call and pick her up because she brings light into my world. I mean, so how can I spend time with them and make them a priority? That's what brings me joy. What
You
about
know,
you? What brings you
I
joy?
love this right here. This brings me joy. What what gives me even greater joy is sharing my personal journey and how it led me to be where I am today, creating spaces for other women to
Yeah.
find their joy, to
Yeah.
notice what they're noticing.
Yeah.
Uh, Julie, you and I are about to share a very special stage together.
I was getting ready to say we probably need to talk about if you are listening to this and you're thinking, I need a weekend away, I need to retreat and focus on me. There is a very special conference coming up. My Limitless Horizons is coming up, and Toby Beth has created this. And she's brought together some amazing speakers, and I am honored to be one of them. I mean, when you asked me, I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to do this. It is a retreat, it is a way to reset, renew, and revive who you are. Discover who you are again. Get rid of the noise and just come be with other women who are in your shoes to learn and grow together and build a community of people who walk beside you. Tobybeth, what inspired you to create this conference?
My journey again. And listen, I want to start off by saying thank you, Julie, from the bottom of my heart. Being here today and having you be a part of this intentional, special environment that I'm building and show up for her, a Limitless Horizons experience here in Punta Gorda. I want I want women to understand. I don't help fix what's broken in people or in women specifically. I help them remember who they were before all that noise took over. And this isn't a motivational event, it's a transformational experience. It's intentional, it's intimate, it's personal. And listen, you don't even have to be ready for any of this. You just have to be willing, even just a little bit. You know, come on down, stick your toes in the sand down here. Julie, myself, Sandra Krug,
Yes.
Jenny Guidry, Dr. Deborah Kirby, Angie Krellin.
Mm.
We're all Ziegler certified coaches in many different levels, and we
Mhm.
are bringing some real fire to the Southwest Florida market on January 16th and 17th.
Mhm.
You could have a 1 day experience or you could have a 2 day experience. I think Julie's put the link up once or twice.
Yes, and I'll put it in the comments. And you know, this is really, you know, we call it a conference, but Tubby Beth, I gotta say, I feel like this is more of a retreat. This is not a big conference. You're not going to have 500
Mm-mm.
people there. This is a
No,
very small, intimate affair where we are going to learn about each other. We're going to have speakers, but it'll be a workshop. It'll be where we really get into our minds and our hearts, where we begin to notice what we're noticing, where we get rid of the noise and we start to focus on things that will help us revive and come alive again. Um,
agreed.
this is in beautiful Southern Florida. I mean, it's gorgeous. I've not been there. I cannot wait to come. I think I'm actually going to come in early and stay late, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
I really want to spend some time down there because I want to focus on me as well. So even though I get to participate as a speaker and I'm honored, and especially with this quality of speakers that you've put together for this, I'm so excited about it. But if anyone is thinking, I just need a weekend away, this would be your time with women who are open to new relationships. We're all in the same boat. And, you know, this is going to be transformational. And so I'm grateful for you for putting this together.
It's my pleasure. Nothing has called me this strongly in a very, very, very long time. And I want to say something really important here. You can step into this room and not say a word, just be in the room. Just be in the room. I'm giving you permission just to be here. If you're not ready to take the steps, that's okay. We're going to give you the tools to take home with you so that you can take those steps when you feel you're ready to. Come as you are and leave as who you were meant to be. It's okay to take your journey quietly or not so quietly, whatever suits you. We're not here to tell you who to be or when to be it or how to be it. We're coming together, myself, Julie, Angie, Deborah, Jenny, Sandra. We are coming together to show you who you were meant to be. And what you do with that is our gift to you.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. I love this. And I'm going to put the registration link in the comments when this
Thank
is
you.
over. And I'm looking so forward to being there. I'm looking forward to getting out of town. I'm looking forward to being in beautiful Southern Florida. I'm looking forward to putting my toes in the sand. I am bringing my swimsuit. I hope that,
Okay.
yeah, I hope that it's okay because I'm coming as I am. Uh, so I want to come in my swimsuit. So yeah, so this is going to be beautiful. It's going to be transformational. And, if you have felt the way that Tobybeth and I have felt, where you're just walking around with, you're just putting on the face, but inside you're falling apart, you need to renew and reset, put yourself back together. This is a great place to do it.
100%. This is a sacred space, if you will.
Mhm.
Um, Again, it's not a room of 100, 200, 300, 400 people. No, we're talking a room less than 100 people, very limited seating. And I've done this, I've built it this way intentionally.
Mhm.
It's a space where you can reflect, reconnect with yourself, and reset yourself.
Mhm.
Yes, I know it's right after the holidays. I get that. What
It's a
better
time to
time
renew.
to
Yeah.
renew, reset, and revive you for
Yes.
you? So
Yes.
it's time for you to show up for her.
Show up for you. So
Mm.
here's the thing, too. About January 15th, 16th, 20th, in there, we all start to abandon our New Year's resolutions.
Or
Right?
what?
So this will be a great time for you to come in and go, okay, I'm not abandoning my New Year's resolution. I'm taking care of myself. I'm going to be stronger. I'm going to set boundaries. I'm going to go get the goals I want, but I am not going to destroy myself, my family, my life, my career in order to do it. Because we are going to show up for her. We're going to show up for each other, and we want you to show up for you.
Find your inner voice,
Yeah,
find your inner peace. And you know what? Zig Ziglar said it best, I think.
always
You don't have to be great to start. You just have to
start
start to
to
be
be great.
great.
Yes. Yes, isn't he was so wise. Tubby Beth, thank you so much for coming on and
Thank you.
for, sharing and talking about the fact that, we all have moments where we start to crumble, but we can put the pieces back together and be the person that we were created to be. And I am so grateful to know you, so grateful to call you my friend. And I cannot wait to see you in January.
30 days and counting.
Can't
30
wait.
days from today is our intimate, special conference to empower women to reset, renew, and revive right here in sunny Punta Gorda, Florida, Southwest Florida. I can't wait.
Me either. All right, my friend, thank you so much. And we will see you in a few weeks. And the link for registration will be in the comments.
Thank you, Julie.